This video is going to explain how to use colored slip, which is also called underglaze. First, you'll need to pick out your colored slip. There's a chart that will help you pick out the colors. Next, you're either going to stir or shake your underglaze so it's all consistent. Next, you're going to apply this straight onto the clay. Your clay can be leather hard or it can be bone dry like this, it's up to you. Colored slip is actually just dyed clay. So when you add it on straight to the clay, you're just adding clay on top. You're going to add several layers and go in different directions so that way it gets nice and coated. One thing to keep in mind is that the underglaze will not appear the same way when it is fired. So it was kind of like regular glaze. The clay body that we use when it's fired, it turns white. So that means all of the areas that you want to be white, you do not have to add white underglaze. It is a little bit confusing because it's gray when you look at it first. However, when it's fired, it will be white, so you do not need to add any underglaze to it. You're going to continue to paint your underglaze on top of your sculpture to create whatever you want. I created a peach color for the face because I didn't have a peach underglaze. I'm going to add several layers because it is a light color and the dark gray does show through. If you do mix your own underglaze, you don't need to mix a lot, especially if it's a small area. If you do need to mix a lot, you can use a container with a lid and keep it for the next day. When using underglaze, you can overlap colors and blend a little bit easier than you could with regular glaze. However, if you're going to do that, I would start with the lightest color first and then work towards the darker color. It's always harder to cover a darker color with a light color. I am now done adding my underglaze. You need to keep in mind everything that will be gray will turn white. I did add a little bit of white towards the hat because I want the hat to be a little bit different from the hair that's going to be underneath. Here are some helpful hints that you need to remember when you're underglazing. I would recommend looking at the chart before deciding on a color so that way you know what it looks like when it's fired. You're going to add this to your greenware, so that means it's not been bisque fired, so it should still be gray whenever you're adding this. You're going to add several coats and use it in different directions so it's nice and solid. You do not want to use white slip on top of an entire white, or the sculpture because it's going to be white anyway. And then at the end you're going to add clear glaze on top after it's already been bisque fired to make your colors of your underglaze more vibrant.